Here is a little update regarding the squat of mine. Last year, for the first 6 months of the year, things didn't go that well. I wasn't very motivated because of external things, but I still kept squatting. And about halfway in the year, I finally hit a 270 kilo squat. At that point, I got more motivated, and external things that didn't work too well got fixed. And I thought it was time to kick up the effort and kick up my game a little bit. So I went for smaller, which I've done several times before, and usually I have very good results from it. But it's bloody hard. So I went with a smaller base mesocycle, and I felt that it went really, really well. I ate a lot and I slept a lot. Sleeping 10 to 12 hours every day wasn't unusual, and I made a point of always drinking 1 liter of milk after each training, and I made a point of always eating a lot of food. Basically, every time I went up in the night when I needed to go to the bathroom, I went down in the kitchen and made myself a few sandwiches. And most of the diet consisted of red meat, chicken, lots of carbohydrates, and basically eating whatever I could. Also eating dirty ice cream, cakes, chocolate, candy, stuff like that. Basically, the goal was to increase the strength, not to have six-pack, obviously. And then, after finishing the smaller base mesocycle, I rested for about 1 week, but I'm not sure if that was the best thing to do, because I felt that I was losing some momentum, and I think I was stronger maybe a few days before than I was at the day of the maximum attempt. Anyway, at the day of the maximum attempt, I managed to hit my goal of a 280 kilo squat. It was a very intense grind, very hard, the toughest I ever done. And well, yeah, I was happy. The hard work was successful. I achieved what I was coming to do. And then there was the switching period, which basically was not too fun. I don't mind the explosive work, but I was trying to follow the same layout that I've done before, and it calls for heavy negatives 2 or 3 times a week. I don't remember exactly, but after 1 week with these heavy negatives, I think I did them 3 times, and then my back was toast. And I mean, it wasn't hurting a little bit, it was hurting a lot. And not pain in a good way, pain in a really, really bad way. So I needed to rest. And so I did, and I cut the switching period short. And then I went for the intense mesocycle. Here I did an error, because the post-base max attempt was so hard, it was really a grind. I should not have used that to base the lifts off in the intense mesocycle. I should have lowered the weights. Maybe using a PR of 275 kilos would have been better. Already in the first workout in intense mesocycle, I lost one repetition in one set. I think I was a little bit cocky and complacent. It's like that with a squat. You always need to be on your best. If you relax with sleeping and eating, you will suffer under the bar. There is no mistake about it. If you don't focus, if you don't concentrate on the things that you need to do, you suffer. And that I did. So I was off to a very bad start. And then I made a few workouts, and then the weight started to just become too heavy. So instead of following the sets and reps I was supposed to do, I just tried to hit rep PRs in the low repetition range. And that seemed to be rather successful. And I hit a few rep PRs, and then by the end of the intense mesocycle, I came down with a cold. And of course, that wasn't too fun either, but it lasted only for about 1 or 2 weeks, and then I was okay again. And then I figured, why don't I just continue squatting heavy for low reps 3 times a week? It seemed to have worked pretty well. So I did, and in the middle of December last year, I managed to do a double at 265 kilos, and I was pretty happy about that. And I estimated that I was good for 285 to 287 kilo squat at a time, but I didn't try it then. And then I got sick again, and this time much worse. If it was the flu or a bad cold, I don't know. I was really bad. I was really sick, and it took many weeks before I was my usual self again. And I started squatting again, and I felt horrible, but strength was quickly coming back as the body's got some muscle memory, of course. And the goal of January this year was to get back to my previous level. That means 265 kilos times 2. I didn't make it. I made it to 261 times 2, but it was okay. I worked really hard, and the squat was slowly coming back. And then we went into February, and I decided that a 285 kilo squat would be my next logical goal, my next stepping stone before putting up an extra gear towards 300. But there was one day I felt rather strong, and I'd been gradually building up the singles and the doubles over a few weeks to gradually lift more and more weight. But at one point the progress stops because you reach your absolute strength level. And that was about what happened to me. I felt strong, and I did a single of 259 kilos, and then I figured, should I go for 285? No, it would be too much. So I went for 282. And as a miracle, I grinded it. It was the slowest grind I've ever done in my life, and I was a bit surprised I got it, but I never gave up while under the bar, so it was a great success. And then only a few workouts after that. Mind you, I was pretty tired at this point in time because I'd been squatting really heavy all year, and it was starting to take its toll on my body. So one morning I decided to go squat in very cold weather, and I felt a little bit of pain in my right knee, but I kind of ignored it and kept pressing on, and that made it into a knee injury in the right knee. And that was it. And the only thing to do then is to do like I always do, just let time do its thing. Go and train what you can, and you'll eventually come back. So my goal of a 285 kilo squat by the end of February will not happen. Maybe it won't even happen in March. I don't know. But one thing is for certain, and that is that I'm going to just continue and press on, and I will get that 295 kilo squat. And from there, it's 15 kilo left, and I'm going to make it no matter what. That was the update, a little bit long and tedious, but if you're interested, just subscribe to the channel, and I can promise you I'm not going to give up before I can squat 300 kilo.